Can you guess what the worst feeling in the world is when it comes to personal growth? Well, it's not fear of failure or lack of desire or frustration. Those can actually be very useful catalysts for change. No, instead it's something completely different and something I bet you probably felt. See, my name's Peter Sage, and having spent 3 decades in personal growth and led events and transformed millions of lives, I can tell you that the worst feeling in the world that I see people feel when it comes to this industry is having had the courage to make the decision to invest in themselves, having bought the courses or gone to the events or read the books, taken the time, invested their time, actually applied the work and done everything they were told they were going to do, nothing still seems to change. That is a real ball buster when it comes to looking back on the decisions you've made and thinking, where's my return on investment? You see, the vast majority of personal growth isn't personal growth, it's personal shopping. You know, people are trying to buy their way out of their limitations by following fancy marketing slogans and unsubstantiated guarantees and fake testimonials. We're kind of getting numb to that now. But what is the real difference when it comes to being able to transform yourself in an industry that is so full of noise? Well, let me share 2 key insights that are going to help you on your journey of self-discovery and self-realization when it comes to really living your potential. The first is understanding there is a huge difference between a life-chasing success, which is usually what's sold, and a life-chasing fulfillment, which is really what people are after. And I've seen so many people work their ass off to get to the top of Success Mountain, sacrificing time with their loved ones, sacrificing time they can't get back, sacrificing their health, missing their kids' grow up or their daughter's recital, only to get to the top thinking they've made it, and now they want to jump off because they don't like the view. And it's kind of the entrepreneurial joke, because only 1% of 1% of people who actually set a magic number actually ever get to that magic number that they think is going to answer all of their prayers. But the interesting thing is those that do get there are the ones that really want to jump off the most, because they were sold a dream that says, when I have enough money, when I get this, when I have the house and the car and all the rest of it, then I'll be happy. And what actually happens? You get your magic number, you got all the money in the bank. And what do you spend it on? I'll tell you. You now pay for your divorce. You now hire a personal trainer to get your health back, or if you're unlucky, maybe a surgeon. And you try to spend time with your kids and buy them loads of stuff so that they actually love you again and remember that you're the parent. That's not going to happen. Right? That is not the way you want to be able to utilize this industry that now, for the first time in history, the last 100 years, is actually teaching you the secrets that were only taught by the secret societies before. In other words, how you can be abundant, healthy, wealthy, live longevity, have all of that level of fulfillment. But it's not going to be found running down rabbit holes with fancy marketing and guarantees telling you if you buy and do this course, your life will be magically better. I think we're all, as I say, aware of that now. Now, the second key distinction is understanding there is a massive difference between chasing knowledge mastery and self-mastery. In other words, your quality of life is not determined by the outer world. We see that all the time. Gandhi famously said, no one can do anything to you emotionally without your permission. And most of us are our own worst critic when it comes to judging ourselves. We have been told that your self-worth and your net worth are tied, and if you have a low self-worth, you have a low self-esteem, not realizing that money is a reflection of the value that you bring to the marketplace. And if you have low self-esteem because you have no money, then you're not really going to be able to get money with low self-esteem, because you're not that valuable in the marketplace. That's like standing in front of a mirror and being angry and upset because the reflection isn't smiling. When you look at it that way, it's ludicrous to think that, oh, I'm unhappy because I don't have money, and when I get money, I'll be happy. No. Outer world follows inner world. You start walking around being happy because you're alive, because you're living in a time in human history where you have food certainty, because you have people that you can go and give a hug to that are still around, because you can go do things that your ancestors have dreamed about for millennia. You get the idea. People that never feel that feeling of abject failure or disappointment because they didn't get the result are people who know how to access gratitude on a regular basis. Not grateful for the fact they've finally achieved their goal. That is running east, trying to find a sunset. And there's enough people out there that'll sell you a map or a new pair of trainers to tell you how to run faster to try to get that. Not going to happen. Instead, being able to access gratitude regardless. Yeah, if you're sat in a dark room on your own, if you haven't got something that you could think of, that you could relate to, that you could be grateful for, to be able to trigger a sense of fulfillment internally, you have no right to be running off trying to buy the next course to fix your problems. Once you've established a pathway to gratitude, that no matter what happens, grateful for your challenges, grateful for your problems, grateful for the life that you had to spend with somebody before they passed, whatever it may be, then you're qualified to look at the market and say, now which skill is it that I'd like to develop that I think speaks to my heart, so that I can actually go and follow something in the industry out of a love for it rather than as a desperation or a fear of not having it. They are two different pathways. So the next time you go to invest money, you go to spend something, don't just read the marketing, don't just look at the guarantees, don't just look at the cherry-picked testimonials on a website. No, instead, ask yourself, am I ready for being able to transform in a way that this skill will assist me in? Or am I trying to use it to cover up some inability for me to be able to know that I own myself regardless? That if I didn't have a computer or have a phone, if I didn't live in the house I currently live in and had to downsize or live with friends for a while, would I still be able to find a way that allowed me to be grateful for something? When you can answer that question, you really are ready for self-mastery. And then you can choose whatever you want in the industry, and you'll never be able to feel that fear or that worst feeling again, because you'll always have the ability to connect with something much greater, which is your ability to feel fulfilled no matter what. Now, if you'd like some key tips on exactly how to be able to do that with a multitude of advanced techniques I can share, I wrote a book on it called The Inside Track. And this will show you the ultimate guide on how to conquer adversity, even if you're facing it right now, especially with the uncertainty and the fear porn that a lot of the media is trying to get you to buy into. This will future-proof you. And all you have to do is click the link below, and I'm going to send you for free the first chapter. And the reason for that is because the first chapter contains some very cool insights, techniques that I was teaching my advanced students that allow you to be able to look at any situation in the outer world and face it with a smile and come out smiling on the other end, no matter what gates of hell you think you're going through. So the first chapter's on me. If that's all you want, fantastic. You'll get a lot out of that. If you want to then go and read the rest of the book, then hey, that's available too. But right now, I just want to be able to demonstrate some value to you and give you a technique. So if you never hear from me again, you're never going to experience that worst feeling in the world, which is to take the time and effort to invest in self-mastery, to invest in trying to improve yourself, do all of the work required, and still not feel fulfilled or happy at the end of it. Don't let that happen again. Grab your first chapter of The Inside Track on me. Grab your free chapter now, and I'll see you on the inside.